At the post-match on the weekend, you said how the draw opens up in respect to where the ladder positions of your opponents. But Carlton, they're red hot at the moment, aren't they? Like 5 of their last 6. Like it's a bigger challenge than probably when it appeared at the start of the year.
Yeah, you always want to preface those statements that you want to get teams at the right time, don't you? As well, and they're red hot at the moment. So credit to them, they're playing some good footy.
What do they do well, or what have you seen?
Very similar to the team we played last week, to be honest. They have good forward pressure, and they're just really well systematised. Not a huge scoring team, but very much still in the defensive part of the game well.
How big a boost is Rocky come in? Is that confirmed?
Yeah, Rocky's in, as long as he gets through training today. So it's a big boost for us to have our captain back. He's our best on-field leader and organiser, so that definitely helps the crew around.
And contested footy as well, obviously that factor.
Yeah, of course. We're better in that number last week. Didn't get over the line. Some other areas, some skill type stuff, which has been a bit of a focus for us this week. But the contested stuff was a bit better, but he only adds to that.
This question comes up every second week, but the away form, do you have to address it? Do you steer clear of it?
We talk about it. I've spoken about it with our leaders to make sure they lead the way in that area for our young boys to do that. But not too much. We're doing some different things out there today. If you go out there and have a look, some crowd noise going and some different things to try to get used to a hostile environment. But a lot of it's between the players' ability to think and concentrate through that pressure to still be able to perform our tasks. So that doesn't change no matter where you play.
Have you changed the travel process at all, like, just to mix that up a bit, maybe?
No, not really. No, we don't sort of like to use those little things as excuses for why we don't perform on any particular day. So those things won't change.
Carlton's turnaround, I mean, you guys finished the same, last year you were sort of battling for that bottom spot. Why do you think they've been able to turn it around, or they have a good first half of the season, I suppose? What have they done well? I
look through their team, and it's probably a similar team, barring a couple of players to the one that played in a final a few years ago. So they're actually quite experienced as a group. They finished near the bottom and had some, and we're going down the youth path, but they're actually playing a lot of their experience and trade in talent, so it makes them older and more experienced. So they're probably making less mistakes because of that. Younger players, as we know, aren't as consistent. They probably haven't exposed as many as their young talent as we have, even this year, let alone in the past. So, I think we're slightly different as far as that goes.
Any more updates on Dane Beams at all with the name?
No updates. We set a program for him. It's still sort of that 10 to 12 week mark. So that's really it. So there's nothing really to report on the week to week.
And you get a couple back in the reserves this week too, so that's a positive as
well. Get a few back in the twos, and then Harris and Darcy next week, which are really important players for us. And Ryan Lester the week after Rowan Buick. So there's some guys that will slowly start trickling into our team, and our reserves are getting good numbers. They had a really good win last week, albeit the Suns were decimated their reserves team. But we started to build some continuity in our club, which is really important.
A big issue in the past week's been the high tackles, and a couple of your players have sort of been highlighted or do it quite well. What do you think about the commentary around it, and do you have to speak to those players or anything along those lines?
Nothing that I need to speak to them about. It's a rule of the game, and always try and pick individuals when we talk about these sorts of rules, but it's not the individuals that. Some guys are better at drawing free kicks than others. It's just the way the game goes. When the lawmakers changed it, I assume that's when it changes.
So you don't mind them sort of continuing to try and win the free that way?
I'm not worried if we get a free possession, Michael. Why would I? We just have to be better at making sure we don't give away free kicks. That's a bigger challenge of mine than us getting them. On the weekend we lost a free kick count and a lot of loose, silly free kicks ourselves. I'm more worried about that than worried about the ones we do get.
Draft lottery, what are your thoughts on that?
I guess, it's a funny one. I don't really have a strong opinion, to be honest. The first year that does it, the team's going to feel a bit cheated, though, aren't they? The one that does finish on the bottom, because who knows? I don't know.
The fourth best player.
You could get the fourth best player, and in any particular year. I know when we do our ranking, sometimes you have a grouping of 4, sometimes a grouping of 5 until it drops away. So it might be a grouping of 2 some years that you think are that elite talent. So if you miss that grouping because of a lottery and you deserved the first pick, I mean that's when it probably leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. So I kind of have a mixed opinion, and I don't really know the form or what they're planning to do. Once I know that, I could probably have a stronger opinion.